Alrighty, hello folks. I'm Peter.
And I'm Paul, and this is the PNP podcast for 2025.
2025. Here we are. Somehow we managed to survive, didn't we?
Yeah, how are you doing there, buddy?
Let's see. I caught a cold on Thursday. So that was Thursday night around 4 o'clock. I caught a cold. And I just now getting over it this morning. My body aches a little bit. I got a little bit of sniffles, but other than that, up and about, which I'm glad. But I saw on the internet, a lot of people were saying it was either the flu or the cold or some upper respiratory thing has been going around. So I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't want to say I had COVID, but I thought for a second that my food tasted weird when I was eating. I'm like, why does this food taste weird? Is it spoiled? So I had to get up and actually look at the can of soup and read and see if it was spoiled. But no, it said 26 or something like that on it. So I knew it wasn't spoiled, but it tasted weird. So I thought at one second I had COVID, but I don't know. Who knows? Whatever it was, it's gone. Almost gone.
Yeah, because it was even like they say, I hate to say it, but like diarrhea. And I mean, we know the flu.
Mm.
They're saying the flu it's coming late, but it is coming with a vengeance because obviously, I know you guys are getting a little cold down there now.
Okay, it's 47. You know what I mean? But here's the thing. What is the point of getting a flu shot if you're just going to catch the flu? I don't get
Well,
it. And I had a
it's
flu
supposed to
shot,
help
you know.
on fighting it. Like basically, it's even like with the COVID shot. They just say it makes it less severe.
I guess that's possible. I mean, it took me less time to get over it because I'm like, and I just had my flu shot. I'm like, what was the point of having that if I'm going to catch the flu? But whatever.
Right,
You know what I mean? I'm
right.
okay. I'm alive. Here's to 25, another year of what the fuck?
I,
Excuse my
I'm still burning motherfucking sage, okay? Because
You
I'm telling you
see?
one thing about 2025. I'll tell you a little secret. I don't know if you know this, Peter, but I
Oh,
actually, if you check my Facebook, I stopped. I made my last comment about New Year's resolutions, the
right,
31st, and then I
right.
literally have not posted one comment, one message, one nothing for like I've been just like watching what people have been saying, and it is like diarrhea, like shit out there. I mean this world needs to douche because I'm telling you, there's too much shit from
Stop it.
2024. It's still coming to. I'm watching this and I'm like, I can't
It's
keep my mouth shut.
it's gonna little remnants are gonna carry over, especially if they're at the end of the year. You know what I mean? They're gonna carry over, and some people just can't let things go.
Well,
It's shameful, but they can't.
and you
So
you
speaking of,
watch. I mean, did you watch the? Well, I watched the ball drop.
I did not.
It's not Dick
I'll
Clark.
drop my own
Rest in
ball.
peace. But I mean, I was watching it, and then I basically was with my friends, and I said, okay, well, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go to bed now. Nothing dramatic happened, and then I wake up the next day, and it's New Orleans. I'm like, wait a minute, that was
Something's always bound to happen.
I well, and I was, and we've been watching a lot of this and what's going on. Excuse me,
Hmm.
and he's military. And I guess he fought over in Afghanistan, came back, and then joined ISIS. And I don't know, it's got to be mental because that guy, the next one that was in Vegas, he was like Green Beret, and like he basically was trying to prove a point. But the bigger question is that these people were in the military, so there's this. Are we not investing in our military after the fact? After they go and they fight for our country, and then they come back and try to be civil, reintroduced to civilization, and then they what they don't, and they get in their mind and get a little self crazy. I'm
It's
scared
hard to
because
say. Yeah, I understand that. It's hard to say what happens to them. You know what I mean? And obviously they don't invest because that's what they talk about, all the time about how these people have served and then there's no help for them. And that's a truly awful thing. Why they break? Well, I don't know. Only person who can understand why they break is themselves, unless someone, dives into it and gets close to them to find out what's bothering them. But what's the reason why anybody breaks? I mean, how much does it take? How much do you have to go through before it's too much? You know?
well, we were talking last time on our last podcast. I mean, obviously, Timmy, your partner, like he I mean, things had happened. I'll let you
Yeah.
divulge.
Yeah,
But
we can touch on that.
they
And it's
they
okay.
both left. Yeah, they both left. No, one guy left a video. The guy in New Orleans, he left a video, and then the other guy, I guess he left some information for his family too. So it's like if they're crying out for help, and why are we not, seeing it prior? I mean, did you happen to see some things with Timmy, prior?
Here's what happens. You do, but what happens is you didn't realize it was a warning sign until it was too late. You know, because I did, and we'll go on this for a second because, there's a lot of things that are bothering me these days. A lot. And, 2025, I'm hoping it's going to be the year for me. Like you, I made no resolutions. I don't, that old saying, my resolution is to not make any resolutions. So, because like you said, I mean, you're pointing out, in your little Life of Paul podcast there about how, don't put it on social media. Don't put out more than, or don't bite off more than you can chew, I guess, So if you put out something that's unrealistic and you can't achieve that, it's going to make your 2025 that much harder. So if you go into 2025 knowing that you're just going to do the best you can for yourself and stay strong every day, never give up the fight, then that's the best way to enter your 2025 for anyone and everyone. But stepping back on Timmy, there was a note or there was something. I found something in the garbage and it was kind of strange. It seemed like it was a making of a suicide note or something. I don't know why I didn't pay that much attention to it. I don't know why, I guess, because it happened the next day. But nonetheless, I mean, were there signs? Yes and no. And, and I said things to him, that if he wasn't happy, that we could do whatever he needed to change that so he'd be happy. But I don't know if he was trying to keep me happy and sacrifice his own happiness. I don't know. I don't, it's different for everybody. This is not really, doesn't really relate to these people that you're talking about who left notes to their families. I mean, their situation, well, I can't say it's not the same. I guess what goes on in a person's mind, you can't tell what it is. I mean, it has to take an awful lot. There has to be an awful lot that bothers you in order for you to do something that severe. That's all I can
Right,
say. You know what I
right.
mean? People who say it's selfish. Yes, it can be. At first when this happened with Timmy, and I know our listeners and viewers don't know what we're talking about. My husband died in 2018 from suicide. We're going to touch on this briefly, just because we're talking about these men. Um, what was I going to say? And at first I thought it was selfish of him because we won't go into it now, of the things that happened to me afterwards. What is left behind when you do that, you don't understand the damage that you have made or have left. It's huge. Um, did I think it was selfish? I did at first, but then I said to myself, well, I don't really know the pain he was in. Is it selfish of me to want him to stay when he's in that much pain? I mean, that really doesn't make much sense. I know, but you have to be the person, you have to be someone who's gone through it, like myself, in order to fully try to understand it, because there is really no understanding it. There is no reason for suicide. There isn't. There's always, well, maybe there isn't always a solution, but there should always be a solution. There should always be someone. Is there? I'd like to think that he always had me, but I'll stop there. I'll let you go ahead and put something in because that'll just, it's too much to think about.
Right, it is, and and I give you, and I didn't mean to call you out on the spot like that, but I think
Yeah, that's
that
all
with,
right.
with but what I'm saying is, what I want to bring to the forefront is that these
Mm,
two gentlemen, they basically committed suicide. Um,
right.
and one of them, he's, the guy in Las Vegas, he, rather than he thought that was the best way to be heard. And I'm like, well, wait a minute here. You're not going to be heard anymore because what's going to happen is we will eventually, we'll forget. And we
Oh
will
yeah.
as a society,
Oh
we
yeah.
will forget
Yeah.
and we'll
Yeah. And
move
that's what the
on.
suicide we will forget. Suicide of the heart. Yeah, you won't forget.
Right, right.
That
So
part.
the physical
Maybe.
person, the
Right.
physical person that you affected probably will always remember. And
Mhm.
because death, I always say, like, death. The only thing I know, when my mother passed, that was the hardest thing. But when you have somebody that dies, you will never forget. You'll just learn how to deal with it. And that's what I say to anybody that's lost anybody is that those first weeks or month, it's going to be tough. you won't forget. You'll just learn how to live with it. But for suicide, it's got to be different. And that's what I wanted to say to you. It's got to be a different feeling because of, not, I guess the selfishness. You did bring up the good point because it is kind of a selfish thing. If you're hurting that much, you should be able to share with that person or, reach out to somebody to get help because there are so many advocacies that, they're out there to help people that are dealing with all these, mental
Mm.
challenges. And, I know, with social media now there's 988, which you can call in, which is a helpline for suicide. And it's pretty, it's vocal in the mainstream that, there are these outlets for you, for people to go to. So as a person, I just feel, like, does the pain change? Because it's been, would you say 2018?
18. And the funny thing is, I'm not even sure if that was the date any longer, but not that I've forgotten it, but I guess it's so traumatic that it's blurred a little bit. Not all of it. But, yeah, it was what? That's almost 6 years ago, I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah.
Um, the pain doesn't go away. It lessens is what happens. It lessens. So, but it will never go. It will never go. I will never forget his face. I could never forget his face. I will never forget the moment when it happened. I will never forget our life together. Hopefully I won't cry. I will never forget. It's just that simple. I will never forget. Has it, God, you know what I mean? I knew this was going to happen to me. You had to do it, didn't you? But, I, there's just no words.
Feel it.
There's no words, really. There is no words. I mean, you can't, there is no words. You go on saying to yourself, oh, was it my fault? Did I do something wrong? Why didn't you turn to me? There's a million one things, I went through so much, what I mean,
Well,
that,
would it be
we
even
won't
better
talk
if it were
that, but
you? Because now there's assisted. I mean, assisted suicide you don't hear too much about, but you can, with people who are terminally ill and they're going, like if they have Lou Gehrig's disease or something, and people are saying, I'd rather take my life than go like that. You
right,
know,
right.
uh, do you? I mean, would that have made a difference if he had said to you, "Hey, look, I just don't want to deal with it anymore, and help me"? Would you have helped?
No,
No.
no, because there was nothing, no, his life, Timmy was legally blind, which I'm not sure if everybody knew that. So he could hardly see. He could see very, very, very small amounts. He had to be seriously up close to something, and all he really could see was a blur. So he had that. Plus, Timmy, I'm not supposed to say it. He was HIV positive, um, undetectable at the time. So that didn't matter to me when we met, because there's safe ways to to have a relationship, which we did. So I won't say those two major things were hard on him. Plus, Timmy had depression, clinical depression. He was on medication. So he had three kind of heavy things going for him. You know what I mean? So I don't know if, and I hate to say this. I hate to say this. I don't know if, oh God, I don't know if that he figured he had everything he ever wanted. He had married the love of his life. He had a beautiful home. Now he could go. I don't want to say if that's what
Mm.
happened. I don't know. If maybe that was the reason. Maybe he figured that was as far as he was going to get. Maybe he didn't want to get more blind. Maybe he didn't want to know what was going to happen. Maybe he just didn't want to do that to me. I don't really know. But, maybe he just
You
thought that was the
actually
best
bring up
thing
a
for
good
him.
point.
You
Yeah,
know?
you bring up a good point about that because with HIV and I mean me, I've never really touched on it, but speaking from experience, it's depressing. It's not a good feeling.
There's a lot of things in this world that have good feelings, I'll tell you right now.
Now, I just
But,
read about, what I read about? Luther Vandross. Now, I love, me, I love music, but Luther Vandross never had a lover. Is that true? Because there was something about how he did all these love songs and people made these songs like part of their weddings. But I don't ever remember Luther Vandross having a partner, and he was gay, correct?
I don't even know if he was gay. Was he? Hit the
Uh,
internet,
uh,
find out.
He didn't eat right because I don't even think he brought it up. Like it was a. I mean, I could. I'm sure his close friends knew. I mean, God, I hope I'm not outing him.
If he, well, it's too late now.
Right,
Listen,
but
we don't want to get set up
if
with
he
all outing
were
people. That poor,
right,
that poor Sean Mendez nonsense.
yeah.
But anyways, go ahead.
If he were or if he wasn't, he never had a partner. Let's just say that. Let's just be,
You're right. I
honest.
guess I never noticed him too. Yeah.
Yeah, but he had all these great love songs, and people use these songs for their wedding. And I'm thinking, okay, well, was he in a lot of pain? And because you don't know what people are going through. We say this all the
Isn't
time.
Luther
With
Vandross
Mets.
overweight and then he's lost the weight, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So there's a lot of different, you and I always say the same thing all the time. You can't understand someone's pain unless you're walking in it. You know what I mean? What might seem minuscule to us is on a global scale to someone else. I say this to my good friend all the time. I say, you have issues in your life. I have issues in mine. You might think that mine are larger, but don't belittle yours. Yours might not be as grand as my issues, but they're issues to you and they're important. You know what I'm saying? And that's people have to understand. It doesn't matter how big or small your circumstances or your issues are, they're important to you. You know what I mean? And if they were as tiny as this, it can cause you that much pain that you do something. You know, to me, I don't know about you, but I certainly wouldn't want to be blind. I wouldn't. I don't think anybody wants to be. You know what I mean? And for him to have dealt with for as long as he had, and to be, oh my God, he was the most loving man. Timmy was the most loving man. He was the most passionate. He had the most compassion. He was just beautiful from head to toe. Even though he really couldn't see all that well, just absolutely beautiful. So I thought, but who was I? He could have hit all that. Look at the pain I'm in. We only touched the tip of the iceberg of what's going on in my life.
Scratched
Only
it. I
you
know,
know,
right?
close friends of mine know what I've gone through. But you would never know it looking at me. You know, I hide it all very well. And some
I
people
do
do.
too.
Yeah, exactly. And some people do. We hide it very well. Does it make us stronger? Well, I don't know if it makes us stronger. I mean, I don't want to say Timmy wasn't a strong person, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I say that because I don't have the answers to these things. I don't have them.
I think it's body. I think what we do is as a person who goes through traumatic things in our lives, even in our childhood. It's almost like we build this body armor because you need armor to protect yourself because when you walk into a room and you don't feel welcome, there's a feeling like you I always have these interludes to things like when you went down to Fort Lauderdale to that pool
Yeah.
party and it's funny how your friend was not feeling comfortable, but I guess he had a good time.
He had a great time. Yes, he did.
Yeah. So in
And here's it, and I don't ever try to push anybody into doing what they don't want to do, but I believe how do I say it? I didn't do my friend any harm. I mean? He's a bigger size guy. I mean? It worked the way I wanted it to work or was hoping it would work. He saw that he was normal, amongst the community. He wasn't the only one. He thought that Fort Lauderdale and Wilton Manors everybody there was a 10. Not true. Most of the guys I saw were probably a 5 or a 7, maybe. You know what I mean? There was nobody who was that gorgeous don't get me wrong. Oh, there are some pretty boys down there. You could just walk the street and go, okay, I think I'll marry that one right there. I mean, but there was more average people. He has, and I'm going to say this for anybody because when we have these podcasts, this is what we talk about. We talk about everyone as a whole, anyone's fears. I mean, if you're, you know, gay or any part of the LGBT community and you think you're not up to par, please don't feel that way because I guarantee you there are a dozen more of you out there. You just have to believe in yourself, have confidence, and walk out and be you. You know what I mean? When my friend did that, when he went to this party, you know what I mean? I was amazed at how quick he was just fine. He was absolutely fine. He was better than fine. You know what I mean? He was better than fine. He was a totally chatting with people, having a good time, eating food because he loves to eat, just having a great time, you know, and he saw that they were just normal people. Everyone has such a, social media paints such an awful picture of us. I mean, it just does. You look on, you turn on Facebook anytime you turn it on, in the reels, there's always someone pumping iron or has their shirt off or doing a twerk, you know, and they're all over the place. You never see, well, then again, but who would want to post themselves looking normal? You know, they're too afraid to, because for sure they're going to get ridiculed. And it's an awful world sometimes. You know what I mean? So I don't want to say that social media is inundated, is that the correct word, of gorgeous people. I think just more normal people are afraid to put themselves out there, such as myself. I won't do a reel. Why? I don't think I'm all that bad looking of a guy. I'm pretty normal. Why don't I do a reel? Why don't I go up there and like take off my shirt? I don't know.
But I hear you did on the dance floor. But
Don't
you're
get me
right. I mean,
wrong.
Peter,
You know,
you're right about social media. I want you to say that, like, I mean, you say it's social media, but actually, it's actually the gay people of social media. You know, we put our best foot forward, and I get it. Like, you can't be a Pamela Anderson and come out with no makeup on, because, like, today I got ready before I came on here. You know, we had to get
you
presentable
know, I
because
did
you
not look
do
like this a
want to
half an
come.
hour ago.
You want to come correct. I mean, you know, you want to, like we said in a couple other podcasts, put your best foot forward. You know, show what you really
Yes.
are.
You know,
Don't make
yeah.
it. Don't fake it. You know,
Don't
I mean,
fake it.
fake it till you
You
make it,
know,
but don't totally
but,
fake it
you
and make
know,
it um like unrealistic. There is I don't know what this thing is about Justin Bieber and the hair in his belly button and his crotch that they're putting on. What is that? Have
I
you
didn't hear
seen
about that
that?
one.
Well,
No.
you watch, you look at social media, and he's got hair coming out of his belly button, and I don't know what it's all about, but you can tell it's being put on there, AI. So you see this, and we talk about AI all the time, how people are trying to make themselves, you know, better than what they really are. I say, you know what, Pamela Anderson, put yourself, no makeup, let's see what you look like. I mean, put it out there.
You know,
You know,
I don't even the AI, people, I don't see it as much as I used to when I think it's more of a fad. You know, it'll go. And I don't, people know it's AI. Come on. You know, if you know your friend, you know he doesn't look like that or she doesn't look like
right.
that. You know that. You know what I mean? So they're doing it. I don't necessarily see they're doing it because I mean, I don't do it because I don't need to. I mean, I guess it all depends on who you are. I don't need to see myself all pumped up in some, in some fantasy, image. It's just no need for that. I can do that on my own mind. I don't need to put it on paper. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
Lord knows. But so I think people just do it out of curiosity, really. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Just to
Yeah.
see, I've been tempted. I haven't done it, but I've been tempted. Everyone, we say this all the time, and I'll say it once again, everyone is different. There are so many millions of us on this earth, and in this world today. Everyone is different, but not, and everyone's is an individual, but don't think that you're alone. Don't think you're the only one like this in the world. You're not, so if you're feeling like you can't come out, if you're feeling like you're too overweight, if you're feeling like you don't have the right eye color, you know what I'm saying? You're not tall enough, you don't have the pecs, or maybe you don't know how to dress right. You can't be worried about that, because if you're worried about those things in the first place, then you're not being you, because if that's not how you already are, you would already be that way. You'd already be someone who had the right hair, or was already at the gym, or was wearing the right clothes. If that's how you really felt, you'd already be that way. If you're not that way, but feel you have to be that way, that's because that's not really you. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not
Yeah,
really
I
you.
do.
You know?
Yep.
It's like my friend. Again, he doesn't, no matter what, he's not gonna dress like me. He's not gonna be obsessed with the gym like me. He's not, because why? Because he's not me. You know what I mean? He's him. You see what I'm saying? And that's what people don't tend to understand. Be who you are. You are loved for you. You're not loved for who you think you should be. You're not. Because
Right,
then
but
that's
you
what's
know,
really
also,
you. You know what I mean?
And you don't
Hmm?
want to like. It's funny how you say you dress like you, be like you. Because I have been, I remember going out and seeing a couple of guys. We would call them tools because they all looked alike because they all looked like they came out the same closet. I'm thinking y'all are you're wearing the same thing. And I'm like, wait a minute. I like uniqueness. I like somebody that kind of stands out. You just saw Barbie, and even I saw
Yeah,
Wicked, which I
yeah,
thought was
Barbie.
interesting about Wicked. I don't know when you go to see Wicked. There's a scene here. They made it up like you go to this school wizardry of school, which is almost like Harry Potter. But they had some had skirts, men wearing skirts. Some had pants. Some had shorts. Some had a half skirt, and I thought it was uniqueness of each and individuality of each person, which makes up a you know an individual. How do you say that? It's your own uniqueness that makes up this beautiful rainbow of us.
Colors. Yes,
Color, yeah,
you're seeing a lot more actually in social media. You're seeing a lot of people dressing and even on concerts and the dancers, if you notice, they're all dressed in uniquely different styles that suit their own selves. You notice that not that I'm a Swiftie, but she's good for that with her dancers. If you see them, they're all usually dressed. They might be in the same color coordination, but they're dressed in different styles. I think unique to what they feel. You know what I mean? You see that a lot. I don't know if it's intentional, I don't, it's even with, I don't know, it's happening more today. Maybe it's me, but I'm seeing that. Not everybody's wearing the same thing. There was a time when everyone was dressed the same, and now they're dressed in a similar color scheme, but they're wearing different styles. Some might have a skirt on, some might have pants, some might have a crop top. You know what I mean? They're all different.
right.
And I think what that signifies, like you were saying, is an individuality. The world is changing. The gay community, not the gay community, well, I can't say the gay community is changing. Now, I think we've always been who we've been. We are just 2025 versions now of what might have happened in Stonewall. There was a lot of individuality then. There's a lot of individuality today. There was a different classification. There was only what? LGBT, I'm not even sure at that time.
LGBT, yeah,
Now the
LGBT.
alphabet's this long. You know what I mean? So it just goes to show you what we've accomplished thus far from then till now.
Yeah,
That's when people were worried, with the changes, in the government, and the president and all that. I said, chill. Okay, come on. There are way too many letters in the alphabet to be worried about that. There are too many of us out there for us to even think. There isn't a closet big enough to hold us to go back into. You know what I mean? We can't. We're strong. We're proud. We're here. You know what I mean? We're a force. I continue to say that. So I shout out again to everyone out there who is listening. Really, in 2025, if there's anything you can do for yourself, be you. Don't be afraid, because here's the thing. If someone doesn't like you, well, do you do you want to like them? I mean, do you know what I mean? I mean, if they don't like you because you're you, well, why would you want to like them if that's how they're going to be? You wouldn't. I wouldn't think.
yeah,
Not all of us are strong enough to take on, you know what I mean, that society, the mean girls and all that.
right.
You and I, we've been on this game long enough that shoot, we probably wrote the playbook. So I can certainly take on mean girls. I have no problem with that. I did when I was in Wilson, but, but again, that's me though. Okay. That's me. That's why I said to my friend, you can't do what I do because that's not in you. That's in me. The things that I do, the ways I behave, my character is my character because it's my character.
No.
Do you want to be like me? Well, that's up to you. If you want to. I don't think you need to be, because trust me, being me, it's not all that easy. You might want to be considerate.
Hey, well, I mean, honestly, with you saying about being unique and being different. I mean, RuPaul. I don't know if you were paying attention, but season 17. I'm telling
Oh,
you, if you have I mean, that's honestly my Saturday nights because they're on Saturday night on MTV or VH1. They're both now together. But I tell you what, the styles and the drag that has evolved from when I remember going to drag shows. I mean, it
it's
is
a lot
from
different.
It is. It's like from club kid to there's this one tap dancer. She looks like something out of the 20s, and then just pageantry, drag, and uniqueness, fierceness, talent. I love. I'm not per se. I mean I don't I'm sexually not attracted to a drag queen, but
Right.
to watch these men get undressed and then see what they look like as men is like whoa. I mean it's like
Oh yeah, some of them are kind
wow.
of hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah.
we can't, it's funny. We can't, well, we can, but we shouldn't be judgmental as gay men. You know what I mean? Gay is gay is gay is gay is gay is gay. Whether you're a drag queen or a drag king or whatever it is, we should all love each other. If anybody should all love each other to show this world about love, it should be us. We shouldn't say, oh, you're a drag queen. Get away from me. Not at all. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't have any drag queen friends. Well, I did. I did. Back in the day, I lived in Daytona. And not that I wouldn't have any, you know what I mean? But my point is, like what were you saying? I'm not, well, that's funny. That's funny. I need to step back. Believe it or not, I didn't tell you this.
Uh oh.
Timmy did drag.
Really?
Yes, my husband did drag. Yeah, he told me one day. And he thought that was going to be a problem when he told me. At first, I was kind of like, really? You know what I mean? But then he wanted to do a show. So we did. And I went. It was actually, it was great. It was cool. It was cool. It was a surprise to me. Yeah. He looked pretty good too. Son of a bitch. Yeah. It made him happy to do the show. I mean, I supported him in any way that I could, so no, I never told you that. Yeah.
No, you
Yeah, he
didn't.
did.
No.
Yeah. His name was
Do you?
Tabitha Stevens was his
Tabitha.
name. I love you, baby. You're crazy. You know what I mean?
Well,
But
well,
yeah,
our
yeah.
our
So,
good our good friend Dan Gutierrez. I didn't mean to say his last name. Dan. He
yes.
actually had. I know you're not supposed to say last names on social media. So Dan, he had me one time dressed in drag. We were going out. I don't know where we were going to, Springfield or something, and he got all
Mm,
dolled up. And I put that wig on. I literally didn't see myself. I saw this woman, and I honestly got scared. And I literally had to take it
really?
back off. I couldn't go out and drag. I
Yeah,
literally had to take it
yeah,
off.
yeah. I would never do drag. Not because I have nothing against it. God bless them all. I think they're the most talented people I can imagine. You know what I mean? I think it's fantastic. It's a part of our gay culture. There's not a darn thing wrong with it at all. You know what I'm saying? But to each our own. You know what I mean? There are some, we wouldn't be the what should I say, faceted or whatever community that we are if we weren't all different. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what people don't understand about the gay community. We are not all the same. Okay? I
Yeah.
say this to all
Yeah.
you heterosexual people. Are you all the same? Well, nor are we. Some of us have beards, some of us don't have beards. Some of us are construction workers, some of us are in ballet. You know what I mean? Some of us like sports. Some of us love fashion. We are different. Some men strictly love men. Some men love men who are more feminine. You know what I mean? We are a mix of so many different things. So many different things. You know what I mean? We have one voice though. One voice, and that voice is what unites us. You know what I mean? But we are different people. We are definitely all different people. What might be a turn on for one is not a turn on for another, and
That's
vice
true.
versa.
I'm. Yeah.
You
Because
know?
there, and honestly, because I've had a couple of like situations, guys kind of picking me up saying, do you wear,
Yeah,
panties and do you,
yeah.
and I was like, yeah,
Feminine.
not my thing. But I could see where it's a turn on because everybody has their own little, things that heighten their, sexual response and what they like and respect to that. I mean, there's
Mm.
many ways to, get your rocks off and,
Yeah,
hey, as long as you're not hurting somebody and you're two consenting adults, hey, I say go for it.
Mm.
No holds
Let's
barred.
not even go there. That's the one thing I hate. I'm back on Grinder. I know, shame on me. I don't know why I can't get off that darn thing, but I'm approaching it differently than I used to. Forgive me pushing these things back in. I like you. They're gonna fall out. Something new we're trying here, folks. We're doing earbuds. Um, how do I approach this? Let's put it this way. Remember we talked about social etiquette, our last podcast. I just don't get some people. Why do you got to the minute you hit me up on Grindr, have to send me a disgusting video of you doing things to yourself? What makes you think I want to see that? I was like, oh no, you didn't. I said, you think you're going to get a response from me? What do you, click? Wow. Wow. Is all I got to say. I really hate when guys do that. You know what I mean? Why do you gotta do that? Honestly, why?
Well,
Why do you gotta do that? Why do you gotta, gotta come to a nasty thing like I want to suck you or whatever, or uh, what's that one? Just come dumping me. What the heck is all that? Come on, you know what I'm saying? Come on, people. Can't we do better than that? Honestly. And they talk about all these apps that are coming out. Oh yeah, Archer, it's verified with your face. Oh please, face this. You know
mm.
what I'm saying? None of these apps are any good, folks. You want to meet someone? Let me tell you. Here's what you do, and I'll tell you why. I know for a fact it works. Go out and be around people. Believe it or not, I was at this pool party. I met more men than I could ever have met on Grindr. It was wonderful. A lot of guys there. You know what I'm saying? Guys around my age, wonderful guys, in decent shape. You know what I'm saying? Had careers, just good, beautiful people. And it was great to interact with them. You got to smile firsthand, and you're talking, a little teasing, a little flirting. It was wonderful. It's wonderful. And I didn't need Grindr to find them. I got invited to a party. I went, and it was everything I expected to be and more. And, um, I guess the point, yeah. I mean, so it's very true that really you really want to meet someone, well, then get out there, and meet someone. My reason we're talking about me going, yeah, I went to Fort Lauderdale over New Year's, with my friend, and we went on we went, when did we go? 28th. So we were the 28th to the 1st. So, first couple of days, we just kind of ran around town and got a feeling for Fort Lauderdale. And it's, I don't want to sit there and say it was Fantasyland because it's probably not Fantasyland to people who live there. You know what I mean? And Wilton Manors and all that. I think it's just everyday life for them. I think it was just so mesmerizing to me because I've never been amongst a gay community. It was just so different. At first I thought it was overwhelming. At first I was like, wow, could I handle this? All this gayness. Everything's gay. The parking meters were color coordinated, gay. It was just gay, flags everywhere. It's gay as all can be. Now, to a gay man, she's like, oh, I'm in heaven. You know what I mean? And I guess I was, but, after that wore off, just the whole idea of just everybody being, male, um, then I felt a little, what worked for me again was knowing that I stood a chance of making friends and meeting people. Not sex, people, quality people do quality things, bike riding, sports clubs, movie theater. There was just, all sorts of different things. And I didn't have to try. You know what I mean? I just had to be there. And the invitations came, it's by talking to people, saying hello, introducing yourself. It all came, so it's nice. It's nice, um, I don't know where I'm going with that. I don't know where I'm going with that. I'll let you take that. I don't know where I was going with that at all, but we talked about
Well,
that
I
for a
mean,
moment.
you say like, I mean, because you went down to Fort Lauderdale, and we obviously being up here in North, I mean, we have P Town. I mean, that's. I
Right.
remember when I was younger, and I was in my 20s, and we would go to P Town. It was like the gay mecca, and it was like, oh, I'm home, and it was like, I mean, full on, like turn that volume up. It was like,
Yeah.
gay full blast, and
Yep.
you did after a couple, like, a couple of days, you're like, okay, I've had, it's almost like you've had enough. You just want some, some substance.
So,
So I know what you're talking about. Do you need a gay mecca? No, but you do want to go somewhere where you actually don't have to walk, watch your back, or,
right.
be
Right.
aware of your surroundings of something
Yeah.
going down. So I think
And
that's
I
what you're saying.
definitely, yeah. I mean, I definitely recommend, I mean, especially if you're having troubles, identifying yourself, or feeling comfortable where you are. Sometimes, relocating to a space, to a place that's more inviting could help, you know. I'm a strong person. I can survive anywhere, but again, I'm me. Everyone is different, But even for me, even here where I'm at, in a community where there isn't any gays, the local bars, all inclusive, which we ain't gonna go there. But, it's, there's too much, I have too much LGBT in me to remain here. I need to be where I can blossom, to full potential. I can't do it in a community like this. I need to be in a community of my people. So it's different for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's the same for my friend, he's probably never going to come out to his family. Maybe he will. I don't know. Like I said, they probably know anyways, but he already felt 10 times better being there than here. He was already envisioning all the things that could happen for him and all the things, all the possibilities. And I was thankful. I was glad, Are we going to move there? Yeah, I'm going to try really hard to be in Fort Lauderdale, folks. If anybody wants to welcome me back or keep me out of the city, I don't know which one. It could go either way after last weekend. But no, yeah, I'm going to try to be there for the end of 25. I hope so. It's my goal. Should I say it's my resolution? No, it's a goal that I'm
It's a
hoping to
goal, right?
achieve.
There you go. And I think
Yeah.
that's a good goal. I mean, a goal is
So,
better than a resolution because a
mm,
goal means
yeah.
you have a there's a you can see an end to it. A goal where a
Mm,
resolution is just resolution. It's just a solution. A goal is a an accomplishment. So it's funny how we bring out
yeah.
resolution and goal. So I like the idea that you use the goal term better than a resolution. Your goal
Yeah.
is to be in a new place where you, I mean, honestly, where are you? You're in what
Palm Bay.
area? Palm Bay.
Palm Bay.
I mean,
Yeah.
and I'm in the Berkshires, so I mean, there's
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
gay life here. There's no
Yes.
gay
Even
life at
crazy
all.
for you. Yeah. We talked
And
about
I'm
that
just,
last time.
yeah. And basically, I mean, I always say I'm gay. Like when I walk in the room, they know, or if they don't know, they're gonna know right away because I honestly, I get rid of the elephant in the room because I don't
Yeah.
want you to come at me with something. So okay, let's state this. I'm gay. Whatever. Now, what you want to talk about? Now, give me some substance. Let's have a real
Right. Right.
conversation.
Right. Let's get past that nonsense. You know what I mean? And I'm tired of
Right.
having to hide myself. I mean, not that I do hide myself, but even at my job, I mean, only the supervisor knows. I told her because of an incident, but, yeah, I felt uncomfortable. But other than that, they might know, and I don't care, but I'm just, even at our age, my age, I shouldn't have to feel uncomfortable somewhere. You know what I mean? And if I do, then it's up to me, and I should take myself out of that. Don't be
Right.
somewhere where you don't feel right. You know what I mean? You're only harming yourself. You're not harming those around you. They could really give a darn. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you got to move on.
True.
But when it comes to goals and resolutions, don't set some you can't achieve. Don't reach, for Mars when you might not get it. You
Right.
know, Fort Lauderdale is a big goal, but I'm planning, I'm giving myself this year to do it. I'm not trying to make it immediate, and I worry that I won't achieve it, but I've worried about a lot of things I wouldn't have achieved in my life, but I've managed to do it. And, I can honestly say today that I don't know. I'm having, I'm not the happiest person today, but I'm not the saddest. My mood swings go up and down. I mean, as they would for anybody else. One minute I feel like, oh, everything just seems so impossible. There's so many obstacles. And the next time, like, oh, you know what? Just breathe. Take this as one day. Tomorrow's going to be another one, But there's always something that gets thrown in your face. So when you go to try to reach these goals or try to do anything in 2025, I think I posted on social media, if I remember, saying, what did I say? Something about there was always another day. Yeah. Remember I wrote that? Something
Yeah.
about, whatever you set forth for yourself for the new year, don't think that when it went off track, like say in February it went off track, don't go, oh my God, well, I just blew it. No, because the good thing about life is there is another day. You know what I mean? And that next day you can put yourself back on that track and continue. The only time you fail is when you don't try to try. You know what I mean? Then you fail.
Yeah.
You
Right.
continue to try till you succeed.
Yeah. Because you like I was even saying like I mean make them steps. I always say AA 12 steps. It's always a step. You make your step. Your goal is to move to Collateral. I mean, I say like, my goal is to get through winter. I'm gonna be simple. My
Yeah,
goal is to get through winter because I mean it's cold here, and now I'm
I
out
bet.
there all day. I told you that yesterday. I mean, I was trying. It was like 15 degrees, and with the wind chill, made it down to like 7. And you saw me. I look like a ninja. I'm gonna put
Yeah, I
that picture up.
saw you.
I mean, it was freezing, and I just tried to be funny about it because I'm at work.
Right.
There's nothing I can do. So let's make the situation light of it. And that's what I always say: make light of any situation that you're going through, or what's the learning curve here? What am I here to learn about the struggle that I'm going through? If you're not feeling good that day, maybe it's teaching you that you do have the willpower to move on because some people don't. You, as a human, if you can just turn around and say, okay, you know what? It was a bad day yesterday, but there's tomorrow. New book, new
Right.
chapter,
Right.
new
Right.
volume. Books have volumes. This could be just one book. You could have many others.
Yeah, you
And
have to
mental
think of it
health,
that way.
yeah, and with mental health, the best thing is, I mean, the best and hardest, get out of here. I mean, our heads, our minds, they're continually thinking, oh, I could do this better. I could be better at that. I could do that, or I could look better. Or I could feel better. I could be 134 pounds and, fierceness. This is what I'm serving. But in real life, we're all just trying to get, you know, to a better space. And I think that's what I hope that's what we're all trying to do is to be a better version of what we were last year. Let's be a better version of
Right.
this year
Or what we were yesterday. You know
or
what I mean?
yesterday. Yeah. Yeah.
But just, what was I going to say? I just lost that thought. I'm kind of that way, like you just said, I'll get kind of like down and go, oh shoot, like I was all stressed out that I was in bed for the last 2 days, and normally I would freak out about that. Oh, I would fight it and try to get up and try to get something accomplished. But you know what? I said to myself, I said, listen, your body obviously needs to chill. You are sick. You need to just relax. So 2 days or 3 days are gone out of your life and you couldn't network or you couldn't do this. You know what? It's not the end of the world. There was another day to do it on. I mean, it's so hard to me to waste days. You know what I mean? But sometimes you have to let days go. Some days they just are what they are. You know what I mean? Some days don't work out the way you want them to work out. And so you put that's why it's called night. You put that to rest, the next morning, you awake and you try again. Or you start again. I shouldn't say you try again. You start again. You know what I mean? You don't try, you just start. You start and you do what you gotta do. And so again, going back to 2025, and yeah, I mean, it's a whole new year. I mean, it's a whole new presidency. It's a whole new lot of things. There's a lot of new things that are gonna be happening in my life. I'm going to move out of where I'm at here in this town still, and then hopefully find my way back to Fort Lauderdale. And that's a lot of change, and it's scary. You know what I mean? It's very scary. But when we talk about the new year, and change isn't going to come to you, you know, unless you create it. You
True.
know, it's just
Yeah.
that simple. And as frightened at you and I both know, and so do other of my closest friends, know what I've gone through. And you would think that I was Hercules. They said what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. I would be, I'd be a god because I've been through hell and back 20 times or whatever the case might be. But even I'm still worried, moving forward. But if I continue to be scared, then I won't do it. You know what I mean? And I can't have that happen. So don't be afraid of change, make it because if it's going to better you, why would you not want to do it? You know what I mean? I know if I take myself out of here and go there, I'm going to be a happier guy. We can circle this right around, and not that I want to bring this back up again. We can circle this right back around to suicide. Why do people go to that extreme? Is because they didn't allow themselves change? Is because they were afraid to do something? Was it because they gave up? I don't know. You know what I mean? I'll never have the answer to my husband's death. I won't. Um, and we can talk about that. If our viewers want us to touch on that at some point in time in the future, we can have an in-depth conversation about that and what it does to people and bring up statistics and so on and so forth. Um, because I know I'm not the only one. I don't share it with everyone. But again, I may not go off base. Let's go back to the new year, and yeah, just bring in the
It's
best
the
you can. Yeah.
fear. Well, it's the
You know,
fear of any, it's the fear of the new, and rightfully so. You should be a little, you should be scared because it's, the unknown. But also, if you're not scared, then is it really a challenge? So the feeling that you're feeling of being scared or your fear, that in essence is a testament that yes, and it will be an accomplishment. It'll be a goal. That's
right,
what I think when
right.
you overcome it. That's a goal that you've overcome because
Mhm.
when you look at the whole scheme in life, if you just sit back and kind of just go, you're at a plateau and you're just doing this, then
Yeah,
you're not
cruising
really
along.
living, right?
No.
If you
Remember what
can
I
get up in
said?
the morning, well,
Oh, I'm sorry. Remember what I said? Do what scares you until it doesn't. It's just that
exactly,
simple. Yeah.
it is
But go ahead. What you're saying?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you just, you when in life, if you feel a little shaky and unsure, I mean, get somebody to help you. You definitely. They always say, about New Year's resolutions. Get a buddy. Whatever that, your goal or your thing you're doing this year that you want to better yourself with. Get somebody to, if you got somebody to help you with it, I mean, that's the best thing to do is if you can find somebody that wants to go through the same thing, help them out. Like your friend, I mean, hey, say you want to go to the gym, let's go to the gym, and almost make it like, like one day, like it's funny when you called me this morning, I was unsure if I wanted to do the podcast, and I was thinking you're under the weather, you weren't going to do it. So I was thinking,
Yeah. I'm
but
under the
you
weather,
kind of
but
pushed me, and I think what really was interesting is you had said to me in the message, "Are you okay?" And I was like, I don't know, am I okay? So it almost made me like, I just did I sat back and I said, am I okay? I said, you know what? I'm okay. I got up, I had my coffee, and I am okay. So
you're
thank you
okay
for,
now.
yeah,
Yeah.
that simple, are you okay? You made me question myself, which I like
Yeah.
that fact because it's like you were my motivation to say, get
Yeah.
up and,
I made you think for a second if you weren't okay today. You know what I mean? Because
right,
being okay and not being okay, saying I'm not okay, people, there's different levels of that. It's there's different levels of it. You could just be slightly off, you know what I mean? Not your normal self. Something tiny could have bugged you and it just threw you off in this little ripple, you know what I mean? So it's not, and it's just a little thing, a little something by someone gets you back and going, yeah, I was feeling a little funky, but now I'm all right. You know what I mean? Cause I was feeling a little funky. I still am, but I feel better now that we did this. And let me give it for instance. And I know we always go on now talking about doing something that scares you until it doesn't. Here's what I say about trying something. If there's something you want to do, then don't be afraid to do it because it might exactly be what it was you intended, what you thought it would be. Hence my going to Fort Lauderdale, going out, meeting these people. I had something to prove to myself, and we don't all have to have that. But we all have our own little things. I had something to prove to myself. I had to see if what I thought my life would be like and what I thought what would become of me, what if I moved there would happen. It did. You see, I went there and everything that I thought was going to happen for me, it did, you see.
right,
So that's exciting. That's exciting. I had an idea of, I had an idea of how much I could blossom if I was there. And I went and trust me, I blossomed. So I'm saying to be our age, to be my age, which I think we talked about how old I am. We are going to mention it again. Maybe one day we'll say it again. But I mean, gay men, when you get to be a certain age, it's difficult, especially if you're single. You know what I mean?
yeah, we
To
do,
find someone to share your life with, it becomes tougher. And I guess I wish it wasn't, but here's the thing. At least I believed that until I went there and I saw
right,
these wonderful men who were my age group that were just absolutely beautiful people. And all of a sudden being my age didn't bother me anymore because I was amongst my people, a community. People understand me. People looked at me for who I was, not who I wasn't. You know what I mean? So I was really glad. It gave me hope. You know what I mean? That I could be happy. Not everybody, I'm different. You and I are different. I'm an extrovert. I believe you're an extrovert as well. We're both very outgoing people. You know what I mean? So I thrive on people. I have to be around them. I feed off their energy. I love being the center of attention. I love being out there and doing my thing. So I'm dying here because I don't have that. You know what I mean? I don't have the energy I need to be me. You're not saying it's be me. I shouldn't say it that way. I don't have the energy. It's like a flower without sunlight. It's going to wilt. You know what I mean? And eventually
right.
just, turn to brown and fall over. And that's kind of me. You know what I mean? I don't have the sunlight that's keeping me sparkling, keeping me
Well,
strong and
it's
keep me
funny.
growing, you know?
And you say it's funny about that because I feel the same way. Is that if you're always the sun and you're always the one that's helping everybody
Mm,
else grow, well, who the hell is helping you? And I
it's
know
helping you.
that's what you're saying,
Yeah,
right? You're always
exactly.
tired of being like the Energizer Bunny. Well, wait a minute here. I need a partner in crime to help me boot me. And we say that, it is it sucks that when you're in a place that where you feel
You know,
you're not getting that boost anymore. Madonna said it. You can only spend so much time in one space and one place, one space. You can only spend so much time because the more time you stay, the more time you waste. And that's the thing is that we all don't. Time is the essence of living, and we're not gonna live forever. I mean, time is. At our ages, I mean, at our ages, time is on the other hand.
yeah, it's of the essence. Truly.
Literally. So as
Yeah.
all men,
It's
the
like,
older you get,
yeah. As gay men, it's dinosaur years. It isn't dog years. It's dinosaur years. At a certain age, you're extinct, baby. So you
yeah,
better,
find our fossils in the ground.
yeah. And I mean, but when you're amongst a community here, and here's the different reason, another reason for being, I realized I didn't have to be all that gorgeous when I was there. I didn't realize I had to be all that well built, you know. I just realized I just had to have my personality. I just had to be me, I mean,
Yeah.
and it brought on people, so and it's like my friend, going down, he talked to a lot of people and he was conversations with all sorts of stuff, I mean, and he finally realized it has nothing to do with you being, you know, sweet booty, big chest, I mean, 6 foot, whatever, man in finance. You can just be you and you'll be accepted because there are so many others that are like you. It's good to be amongst your peers, so to speak. So, but um, yeah, 2025. Let's all hope it's a good year for all of us, and there's less pain, less things like
Yeah.
that, like the New Orleans, and it's sad that that happened. But unfortunately, let's be honest, is that the end of this sort of thing? No, it's probably not.
Now it's just beginning. I mean, it's
Yeah,
our year's just beginning. I mean, we got 12 months, and I mean, I hate to, but I mean, I'll say, I mean, Trump's going to be in, he's going to be in office, so we're going to see change. I mean, we will see change. And the question
it's coming.
is,
Hmm.
right? Are you on that wave, riding it like a
You
freaking
know,
goddamn um, uh, what do you ski or I mean, what do
tsunami.
you surf a surfboarder, right? Or are you under like a tsunami, right? Are you the surfboard or are you underneath the like a tsunami? And it's we got to keep our ducks in a row and keep our eyes aware of what's going on and what he does for change because that change ultimately, I mean, he got 4 years. That's gonna affect us.
Yeah, he's gonna do all sorts of crazy stuff. I'm sure. It's already
Yeah.
beginning. You know what I mean? There's already so much nonsense. But I don't, again, when we spoke of that last time, people need to stop running like they're scared. Let's not freak out right now. Let's stay strong. Let's stay a strong community and let's, continue to be who we are and do what we do. I mean, we can't, he's here. So
Right. Yeah.
unless we impeach him, you know what I mean? Which I don't think that's going to happen. But anyways, the man can't. Well,
Hmm.
we won't talk politics. We try not to talk politics on
Right.
our podcast, so we won't. You can like who you like. Again, that's what makes the world, what makes America great.
Right.
That's what makes America great. Not so much Trump,
Right.
but that you can have your own opinions. There's the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so you could
amen to that
like
one.
Tonight I'm gonna watch. I can't wait to see Nikki Glazer at the Golden Globes tonight. I mean, I'm kind of. I mean, I like the award shows just because I love movies. But Nikki Glazer, I'm a huge that girl can roast, and I I hope she got a couple things to say about the politics because I like it. The Golden Globes, they always try to touch on all
Mhm.
subjects, and she's hysterical as a comedian. And I say laugh. Love and happiness. You're right. That's what we need. So I'm gonna watch me a little Golden Globes tonight because
Yeah, I might
a
watch
couple
that
of them.
tonight too. You know what I mean? I was thinking, what
Yeah,
was I going to do today? And I'm like, I think I'm going to let my body rest a little longer. This is day 3. And even though I'm up, I still have the sniffles and my body is feeling a little better, but I'll probably just chill. So even on myself. I mean, if I'm going to tell our viewers, how to relax, I got to learn to relax myself, and I try. I'm a tightly wound individual. There's a lot I want to accomplish, a lot I want to do, you know. Um, but like anything else, we've got the whole year. You know what I mean? So put your best foot forward and stay true to yourself. Stay true to the goal. Whether it's one, don't send 12 of them. You know what I mean? You want to, you probably, that's like a resolution. You probably want to accomplish them all. Maybe you will if you're super great at it. Hey, you got a year. You know what I mean? But
right.
yeah, you just, like you said, your ultimate goal for everybody's ultimate goal for 2025 should be to be you, to be a better you, whatever that means. If you're already a good you, you know what I mean? You know what it means to be a better you. So, don't think it's you have to give more to charity or you have to work harder or no, you just have to be a better person inside. You know what I mean? Have
Hmm.
passion, compassion, humanity, be good to your neighbor, be good to your family, be good to your friends. You know what I mean? We're going to need that going this new
Yeah.
year for
Yeah.
everyone to have unity. You know what I mean? And be good to the LGBT community.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm with you there. I funny because when I'm walking around at work, and I saw, I have a lot of South Americans and Spanish, descendants that are in our country now, and this one guy said to me, he said, I'm a little worried, and I said, well, don't worry, I got your back. And he's like, yeah, well, they're coming for me first. I said, well, I'm right in line, so they're even coming next for the game. So, we'll watch. We got your back. And I always say
All
that.
right.
You're stronger with, more. The quantity and quality of who's around you will always make you stronger. Don't try to fight that fight on your own because we
Right.
need the straight. We need, different cultures and to back us up. There was that one lady, which was interesting when they nominated the speaker. What's the speaker's name? They just nominated him. I should know this.
I don't know.
Shame on me.
You know,
You're going to make me look this up.
you
What
look it up. But okay. But I was going to say, it's not the man that makes America. It's the
Speaker
people.
of the House?
You know what I mean? So it's the
Here's
people who make
information
America.
from my new microphone.
Look at
Oh,
here's some
yeah.
information. I go to Google. I say Speaker of the House, and he's like, "Here's the new for my who is the Speaker of the House? Mike Johnson. Okay, so
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you something
There you
about
go.
Mike Johnson. I actually like I personally like Mike Johnson. I mean, he's a very Christian. He's got his beliefs, and you know what? I like people who have their beliefs. But he actually was almost not nominated because the Democrats, well, because the Republicans didn't like the way that he was, siding with the Democrats because we needed to have a budget for the because they didn't want to close the House. And he was a smart man that got it done. Because I was a little concerned because if he didn't get that bill passed, we wouldn't be paying our military. We would, people who in the government, they were gonna not they were gonna go without money. So this one lady, and I forgot where she was from Puerto Rico or something, and she's like, and all these other islands, she's like, you know what? How come we didn't get a vote? And she literally spoke up for all of the other immigrant. It was all the other countries that didn't get a vote, and I guess it's because they're not part of the majority. But it was interesting how she, as a she spoke up for her bigger community, not just for Puerto Rico.
Right.
Or she was U.S. Virgin Islands, I think, is where she was from, and it was interesting to when she spoke up, like the whole house stood up and clapped hands because they agreed. You know what? We should speak as a whole, not as an individual.
Exactly. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. If we don't sit together, it's not unity. You know what I mean?
No, Right.
Strength in numbers. So,
That's why it's
without a
called the
doubt.
United States, right? United, because we are united states.
Like I
We're not
said, it's
supposed to
not
be
demanding,
separate.
no, we're not supposed to be separate. Not any of us are supposed to be separate. We were all supposed to be together, band, and make what America should be.
Right,
You
because they
know,
came. I mean, how were we? We came from other countries and united.
we got all of our ancestries.
Right.
America didn't
Yeah.
start this way. It didn't automatically. It wasn't just there. It wasn't a spot on the map. You know what I mean? It grew to be what it is, and it took a
And my
multitude of
Indians.
people to get there. You know what I mean? Yes, by the Indians. Which I am part
Uh huh.
Indian. So, yay
So
us.
yeah,
No.
yeah.
But
So
anyway, so 2025. Yes, let's our next podcast will be coming soon. I'm not sure what it'll be. I wasn't even sure what this one was going to be about. It kind of went in all sorts of different directions, but it is our first one of 2025. And I believe we had some good things to touch on. So,
yeah.
you
So if you
know,
need, listen. If you are mentally feeling distressed, 988. Reach out to a friend and just say, "Hey, I'm not feeling well today. I need somebody to
exactly,
talk to," and be that
exactly.
person. Be that person to listen,
Yeah.
and help somebody through something, because you know what, like you say, you don't know what other people are going through. You're not walking in their shoes,
No,
so
you don't. You
just
don't.
be there. So
And it's a
love
new
and
year,
happiness. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a new year. So I agree. Peace, 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 and more peace.
Namaste.
There you go.
I'm a
Until
Namako.
then, I'm
Have
gonna
a
go
great
back
new
to
year.
bed. You too, my
All
friend.
right, get your rest.
Yes. Everyone
All
else,
right,
happy
Peter.
2025. Be safe and prosper.
Yes.
The end.
Peace.